People think I'm crazy. I mean, some people out there on the internet think I'm crazy because I'm just so bullish on ADA. Take it for what it's worth. I'm just a crypto investor, just like you, just recording, pressing send on YouTube. So take it for what it's worth, but this is my approach to Cardano. What is up, everyone? Welcome to Crypto Capital Venture. Thank you for coming by. Let's just jump into the Cardano video. People think I'm crazy, and I do not care. This is like, I'm on my own little journey. You know what I'm saying? I'm on my own little journey as an entrepreneur. I'm on my journey as a crypto investor. I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm pivoting, I'm having fun, right? I'm growing with a lot of you, and so many of you are just awesome. But it's just kind of like, ADA's down, right? And it's kind of been more volatile to the downside than a lot of cryptos. And so a lot of the comments that I see are kind of like, you know, you're in a losing coin, something like that along those lines, oftentimes coming from probably somebody that holds Solana, which is also down 83%. And that's kind of like the big news flash is everything is down. Here's Bitcoin. Bitcoin is down over 50% from its all-time high, right? So like, let's cool off for a second. All of crypto is down. Traditional markets are down. The markets as a whole are suffering, and it's tough, and it's red, and it's like, what is going on? People are anxious. People are trying to figure it out. And I thought, you know what? I often, on a daily basis, need to regroup, and I need to say, what is my approach here? Like, what is going on? And oftentimes we need to pivot. So I wanted to talk about that in this video, my approach to ADA on these crazy charts. ADA down 84%, potentially more downside in play. So let's just talk about it. And by the way, everybody, this is not financial advice. Again, this is just me tracking my journey. I know so many of you are on the same journey, talking through it with you. So if you're looking for a financial advisor, find one. I am not that person. However, this is some important data, and I want to continue tracking it with you now that we are where we are. First things first, my approach to ADA is very simple, and this is like a big part of my investment thesis. It's kind of research-backed, I guess you could say, because Cardano is research-backed. And that's a huge part of why I am so bullish on ADA, is that scientific approach, that research-backed approach, the peer-reviewed approach that really built and inspired the Cardano roadmap, right? Everything from the Byron era, the foundation being laid, to where we are now going into Basho and scalability, and Voltaire still in play in the future in terms of governance. All of these things coming together is a very, very big reason why I'm invested in ADA, and I continue to be extremely bullish on it, no matter what the charts say. And the charts, in my view, zooming out on the daily, don't even look that bad to me. That's what's insane. I maybe people think I'm crazy for that, and I just don't think. I think they actually look bullish, right? The reset that is happening on these charts is a way different reset than what happened in COVID or even the last bear markets. It's clear on the screen if all you do is just zoom out. So if we look at this now, let's talk about it. Well, where are we and what's the approach moving forward? So here's the approach for me. This is just me. I probably should start with this, the potential downside. I should start with the potential downside. And it's very simple. It's based off the continuation of traditional markets seeing downside in the short to midterm. And it's also based off of this, which is a Fibonacci on the Bitcoin chart. This is a huge piece of the entire crypto landscape for me that I always am looking at. So 2015 swing low to the bull market high of 2017, you can see what Bitcoin did. It retraced to this entire Fibonacci channel and even dipped below it. The same exact channel was tested and Bitcoin dipped below it in the 2015 low. Now, the reason I'm bringing that up is to set context for this. If we take the last bear market low to this recent bull market high, here we are again, and Bitcoin this time is testing the 618. So it's like Bitcoin right now, after this steep dip, is still only testing the 618, meaning the 786 all the way down here, still in play in the $17,000 range. We've been talking about $20,000 for a while now, all year long for Bitcoin. A lot of it having to do with the 200 moving average on the weekly chart. Now, Bitcoin's not there either. So there is room for downside for Bitcoin. And if we just look at where it is right now to the 786 potentially, let's just call it 40%. So I take that context, I take that data, and I pivot to ADA charts, because we know if Bitcoin's going down 40%, guess what? ADA is too. Now, before we chart that, I just want to say, and it doesn't surprise me now that it's happened, ADA, very volatile and painful to the downside, right? Not taking much room for consolidations as Bitcoin was and some cryptos were. It actually just very harsh to the downside. But that's kind of how ADA trades. It's how ADA operates. The same thing was true to the upside. So we have to anticipate that it could happen to the downside. So with that said, as Bitcoin is testing a very key area, the 618 right now on its weekly, on ADA's weekly, ADA's sitting around 48 cents. Looking back, you kind of would have thought, well, maybe 80 cents, 80, 90 cents would be a little bit more realistic, but no, it is more volatile. And here we are sitting at 48 cents. Now, at 48 cents, if there's downside for Bitcoin of 40%, we can look at ADA and we can say, hey, listen, 40% for ADA is like 29, 30 cents. And it is what it is. And if ADA is oftentimes more volatile, we could totally see ADA cruising down even further, 20 cents potentially, right? And then we see ADA kind of testing this entire area on these charts, the 20 cent range area that we see on the weekly zoomed out chart. Now, with that, I want to say this. It's just a very human, imperfect element of these markets. And this is why I think it's so important to always mentally be in the game, always mentally prepare for downside. You all know that I was talking about the 50 cent target all year long. When ADA was above $1, we were talking about the target of 50 cents in play for ADA, and it happened, and we're tracking structure now, and that's fine. Now, the 50 cent to dollar range is what I was saying was kind of a heavy buy zone for me. It's just an accumulation zone. And I have bought Cardano in that zone. Looking back, I think I went a little too heavy, a little more heavy than I would have liked in this range. But there's a strong purpose in me bringing that up to you. That's just to say, nobody can time the bottom. You just can't. I was feeling comfortable with what I was putting in, and so I was accumulating, right? If I would have known that ADA was going to 80 or 50 cents so quickly, I probably would have saved a little more fiat than I did. But again, I knew what I was doing. I still have plenty of fiat to buy any crazy capitulations that happen, if they're going to happen, like the ones we just discussed. And that's my approach in these markets. Now, with that said, I will say this. ADA on these charts, I'd be very surprised if we don't get a pullback or a revisit to the 80 cent range, and then maybe confluent with that 80 cent range would be the 20-week moving average, currently around 90 cents. But that 80 to 90 cent range, I'd be very surprised if we don't see a move to that area. That would extend from Bitcoin seeing a move or a rally to its own 20-week moving average right around just below $40,000. And that would extend from S&P 500, traditional markets seeing a rally, even a rally of 15%, which a lot of people, I think, are anticipating a rally in traditional markets. If a rally happened, I'd be very surprised if Bitcoin and ADA didn't have a rally of their own and this ADA chart turned around, even if but for just a season before continuing to the last capitulation of the bear market. So we could totally see a move like this, boom, rejection, trickling back down, and then just, who knows? You just don't know. Going into the end of the year, maybe December, we're seeing lower lows on ADA charts and people are freaking out. This could be an extended, longer-term bear market, a volatile bear market with big upside, big downside, and it could be big upside. Look, if ADA retraced or got pulled back to the 20-week moving average, it's like 85% gain right now for ADA to do that. So I'm anticipating something like that. But my approach is this. No matter what happens, if ADA bounces off of 48 cents where it is now, or if ADA dips to 20 cents, I'm accumulating at the rate that I am comfortable. And it really is based off of the fact that ADA is just growing from a fundamental level And I think it's in a league of its own in terms of crypto protocols. I really think it is. And this entire last cycle, from Shelly to Mary to Alonzo, now Vassal hard fork, as we're in this downtrend, this entire thing that is being built in front of us, I think is setting the landscape for an insane market share grab whenever the next bull market is. The upside opportunity, and I kind of want to do a video, a separate video on that, what I think is in store for ADA and the long-term upside, the long-term new all-time highs, the long-term valuation. I'm going to do a separate video, but I think ADA is setting up the play right now as I do this video. And yes, there could be crazy 40, 50% more downside right now, but it's setting up the play. Imagine if ADA from all-time high, and say it does hit 20 cents. I can't believe I'm even talking about this. What's this crypto? This is crypto. So that's a 93% to the downside, right? And imagine 93% to the downside and ADA is still at 20 cents. I mean, imagine this. Around 84% to the downside and Cardano is still around 50 cents. Imagine that. This is ADA resetting on the macro charts, in my view, because nothing is guaranteed. We don't know that crypto markets are going to all of a sudden eventually enter another bull market. I'm pretty confident they will. I don't know exactly when. It could be a long winter before it happens, but ADA is in the process of resetting. There will be volatility along the way, but I'm sticking to my guns in terms of my approach to these markets. I understand ADA is very volatile. I understand ADA is potentially more volatile than a lot of the altcoins out there. I understand that it's more volatile than Bitcoin, but I'm sticking to my guns. I'm not spending more than I can afford to lose in terms of ADA accumulation, but I'm telling you, in my view, I think the bear markets, I think the fear inspired moves that we see even on these charts are the best opportunities in crypto. And on these ADA charts, I don't think there's a crypto out there that is a better opportunity than ADA. And I just say that because guess what? I'm just a dude out here with his own opinion. And I know there's so many people that don't agree with me, and that's fine. They think their crypto investment is the best opportunity and the best investment, and that's fine. I admire them for sticking to their guns, and I admire them for taking the risk in crypto because it is a risky space, and I admire them for trying to make moves. Right? So I really don't care what people say about ADA in terms of, it not being a good play. I just really think it is. And I think the charts are going to prove people wrong once again. It's already happened once. This last bull run, the people that were commenting, the BTC, the ETH maximalists, all those people commenting about ADA, they weren't commenting here, right? They wait until we're kind of down and out. But I'm just saying, I'm just waiting. I am just waiting for this market to bottom. And it's all markets. It's all we're waiting for. So this right now, I mean, this is my approach. Time will tell. This is the daily. Again, it's just this continued downtrend that we're watching of lower lows and lower highs. I'd be very surprised if we don't get a move. We can take our bars pattern very similar to this 80 cent range, right? We had the 80 cent capitulation to a new swing high. I'd be very surprised if we don't get kind of a move like that, right here. So like, you see what this is? This could be more aggressive to the upside. There's the move to 80 cents, something like this. I'd be very surprised if it doesn't happen. But either way, we are prepared. We are prepared to the upside, prepared to the downside. We know anything can happen, and we don't spend more than we can afford to lose, and we just kind of put all emotion aside when tracking these markets. We've been here before, and what I mean is that last bear market, I was tracking Bitcoin on this YouTube channel all to the low. And here we are again, tracking it wherever the low is going to go. So patience. These are my opinions. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I appreciate you. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.